Support WrestleTalk!
Order a t-shirt.
The former Drew Galloway, now named Drew McIntyre, made his return to WWE last year. Drew debuted in the crowd at NXT TakeOver Orlando and won the NXT Championship at TakeOver Brooklyn 3 from Bobby Roode just a few months later. Sadly, an injury suffered during his title defense against Andrade Cien Almas at TakeOver War Games cut his championship run short. But McIntyre made his triumphant re-debut on the main roster during the Superstar Shakeup 2018 to team with Dolph Ziggler. During our Wrestle Ramble review of that episode, both Ollie and I were slightly disappointed that this is how Drew McIntyre made his return to the WWE main roster. I personally felt that someone of Drew's talent should have been used in that Bobby Roode spot later in the night, the surprise fifth man against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, and The Miztourage. Or better yet, head over to SmackDown Live, where he could have been part of their awesome main event scene alongside AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, and his War Games foe Andrade Cien Almas. But that's a slightly negative way to look at the situation. I may be over Dolph Ziggler, but hey, at least Drew's back on the main roster. He looked kick-ass, and that Claymore zigzag combo is sweet AF. And going by this past Raw, I was perhaps wrong to think the way that I did about the team. Dolph and Drew had a pretty good squash match against Titus Worldwide, with some cool looking offense and that awesome finisher. I still hate Dolph's record scratch gimmick because it makes no sense, but the team shows some interesting promise. It's not too dissimilar to the team of Shawn Michaels and Diesel, and I appreciate I'm not the first person to notice the similarity. That Two Dudes with Attitude tag team was designed to make Diesel a top star in WWE, getting the rub from Shawn Michaels so they could turn Big Daddy cool babyface and then feud with HBK over the WWF Championship. And if that's the route we want to take Drew, then I'm all for it, even if the last thing Dolph Ziggler needs is more comparisons to Shawn Michaels. After their match against Titus Worldwide, Dolph and Drew cut a promo, with Ziggler doing his usual shtick and Drew highlighting how he's a real wrestler and everyone in the back is just soft and collecting paychecks. It was at this point I realized that this tag team plan to make Drew a star is doomed from the start. Drew is already a star. Ollie and I had slightly different takes on this in our Wrestle Ramble review, but for my money, Drew is already outshining Dolph in almost every aspect. His look is so much cooler, his entrance music is vastly superior, his promo work is much better, and his in-ring work is crisper, smoother, and more devastating to watch. Drew doesn't need Dolph to help him get over as a main event attraction. He's an out-of-the-box, pre-prepared main event player. And I'm not even trying to badmouth Dolph here, as Ziggler's promo and in-ring work was just as good as ever. It's just Drew was so much better. Drew's success on the main roster could be tied to how long he's in this team with Dolph Ziggler. If this is a long-term thing, Drew might get molded into that tag team player formula and be seen as that by the casual fan. The same issue Big Cass suffered after his split with Enzo. But if this team is just a short-term deal to establish Drew on the main roster, then you can almost call it quits after Backlash and slot Drew right into that Universal Championship scene. As we mentioned in the Wrestle Ramble, Raw is currently lacking true main event level heels. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, through no fault of their own, have been slotted by WWE in that upper mid-card slot, likely to feud with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, who have also been put into that Intercontinental Championship scene. That means that Raw's main event is made up of Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Bobby Lashley, all baby faces. We don't know how much longer Brock Lesnar is going to be around for, but even then he's not around all the time. Raw is in need of a number one heel, and Drew is the ideal candidate. Drew McIntyre always seemed to have that potential in him during his first WWE run. A solid in-ring worker with a great look, he was given the ultimate push by being Vince McMahon's chosen one. The dirt sheets reported at the time that Drew was set to win the World Heavyweight Championship at some point, but something went wrong. Before you could say what the heckins happened, Drew was part of comedy jobber team 3MB alongside Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. Actually, thinking about it, I might not be the biggest supporter of Dolph and Drew as a team, but the other option could have been a 3MB reunion, seeing as though all of them are on Raw now. But since leaving WWE, Drew has shown what a main event talent he is, winning championships in Evolve, Impact, ICW, and WCPW. Let's just hope that WWE also see this future in him too, because Drew is someone you could draw a lot of money with. We've got other wrestling-based opinion videos here on WrestleTalk, so click the playlist over there and check out more of them. Subscribe to this channel and pledge on Patreon. I have been Luke Owen, and that was just my opinion.